they had no art on their walls. And every time I went into my treatment area, I would get lost because I didn't know what direction to go when you first start going. I didn't know which way to turn right or left to go where I was supposed to go. And I thought, oh, if they had a painting on the wall or a few paintings, that would be a neat way to direct the people to where they need to go, because I'm sure I wasn't unique. I'm sure a lot of people, because every wall was white and all the furniture was white except for two chairs in the reception area that were orange. But I thought, they need some art, and I have a ton of art, and it's going to be too expensive to ship it all to France. So maybe I need to talk to them about maybe they'd like to purchase some of my pieces. And so I was talking to one of the radiologists, and she said, well, if you have a card, I'll give it to our manager. And I said, oh, absolutely, I have a card. So I brought my cards, I gave her a card, and then that same day, she got on my website and she sent an inquiry on my FASO website and asked me if she could see some of my work. She was intrigued. Unfortunately, the one that she really liked was already sold, but she's coming to my house next week and we're going to do a private showing. So I'm going to pull pieces that I feel would work in the oncology center. And I know that this is going to be a good situation. And then actually just today before I got on the podcast, I had noticed that there's a new bookshop that opened in our community, and it's a woman-owned bookshop, and they've painted their walls pink. So I'm thinking, okay, pink stands for cancer survivors. And what they have, it's all romance novels, romance books, and most of my paintings are romantic in theme. And I thought she needs to have a fundraising event that we can donate money to the cancer, even the local cancer society here, because of the pink walls. And so I reached out to her. I don't know if she's responded yet, but I thought you've just got to think out of the box and figure out different ways to market yourself and your work and see what happens. So, and then during COVID, I had a YouTube show. My gallery in Washington, they gave me an opportunity to show my work in May of 2020. And this was back in 2019 before COVID. And so I was so excited that I was having my first solo show. And then I thought, oh my gosh, now everything's closed down. How are we going to do this reception, this opening? And so I said, well, let's do a Facebook Live opening. And so here we were in the gallery, just the two of us. And of course, we had our 6 feet distance between us. And I was walking around going from painting to painting. And I actually sold 3 right there doing that, which was exciting. So it's always just, open up your horizons, think of alternative ways that you might be able to get your work out there. And of course, your website is really important. And, just getting the word out that this is what you do and this is who you are.
Yes. Yeah. And it's amazing, that you've also seen, like, made sure that you see these needs that need filling in your community, specifically in your community. And you've had these in-person connections, which I think are so underrated these days. I know the internet is amazing, but also, in person working with your community, that is excellent, excellent.
Well, especially if it's somebody that you're doing business with. I mean, it's not the way I want to do business necessarily being in an oncology center, but
Right. Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, I have a relationship with these people now,
Yeah.
and I wanted them to know that, yes, I'm an artist and this is what I do. And, even my doctor, the radiology doctor, he said, oh, I didn't know you were an artist because this was the last day I was in there. And he said, oh, well, that's great. He's a different person than the woman that's going to be coming over, but he was excited about, I showed him a few of my images in my phone, and he was excited about getting the work in the oncology center. So
Yeah.
yeah, you never know.